Carrie has 40 more nickels than Joan has dimes, but they each have the same amount of money. How many coins does each person have? Now, in this situation, Carrie only has nickels, and Joan only has dimes. And my first way that I would try to solve this problem, if I really don't know much, I can try to guess and check. Like I know that Carrie has 40 more than what Joan has, so let's say Joan has 10 dimes. Well, that would mean that Carrie would have 50 nickels. But the other part of this problem is that they have to have the same amount of money. And Carrie, if she has 50 nickels, if they're 5 cents each, that means that she has $2.50. But Carrie, if she only has 10 dimes, they're worth 10 cents each. So Joan, only has $1. So while Carrie has 40 more, their money isn't the same. So 50 and 10 clearly aren't the answer, and I need another way. The purpose of this section is to solve problems like this using a chart. So first of all, we need to figure out how to set up this chart. Well, Carrie and Joan are our two main players in this problem, so they're going to be the rows in this chart. And what do I know about Carrie and Joan? Well, I know that they have a certain number of coins. And I don't know exactly what that number is. That's what the problem is trying to get us to answer. But I know some things about this. Like I know this is 40 more than this. I also know the value of those coins because we know that Carrie has nickels. Well, I guess we could fill that in. Carrie's value is 5 cents and Joan has dimes, and those are worth 10 cents. And if I take the number of coins that Carrie has times their value, I'll get the total amount that Carrie has, or the total amount that Joan has. My problem is I don't know what these numbers are, and that's where our variables come in. So let's consider the fact that we know something about Carrie. She has 40 more nickels than Joan, but Joan's a complete mystery to us. How much does Joan have? We don't know, so we're going to make that our variable. And if Joan has X number of dimes, then I know Carrie will have 40 more than that. How do we write 40 more than X? 40 plus X, or X plus 40. Now I can multiply across and fill in my chart. This times 5, I need to remember to use parentheses, and X times 10 will be 10. Now that I have my chart filled in, how can I write an equation to solve for X? Well, the piece of information that we didn't use yet is the fact that we know they have the same amount of money. This is the amount of money Carrie has, and this is the amount of money Joan has. If they have the same amount of money, I can set those two expressions equal to each other. Now I have an equation that relates to the problem, and if I solve this equation for X, I will be able to figure out the number of coins that Joan has. Distribute. I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides and then divide by 5. So it turns out that x equals 40. That means that Joan has 40 dimes. And if Joan has 40 dimes, Carrie has 40 more than that, so she must have 80 nickels. And I can double check these because 40 dimes should be worth the exact same as 80 nickels. Well, 40 dimes times 10 cents is going to be $4. And 80 nickels times 5 cents is going to be, oh, look at that, $4. So Maria worked twice as many 6-hour shifts as 8-hour shifts. If she worked a total of 280 hours, how many 8-hour shifts did she work? Now again, we can try to guess and check our way through this problem. Like I could think of, okay, if she works twice as many 6-hour shifts, let's say that for the 8-hour shifts, I don't know, let's try 10. So she works 10 8-hour shifts. And for the 6-hour shifts, that means she has to work 20 of those. But now the other part of this problem is that she has to work a total of 280 hours. Well, if you work 10 8-hour shifts, that's 80. And if you work 20 6-hour shifts, that's 120. Well, this only adds up to be 200 hours worked. I need to get this to 280. I could try new numbers here and keep guessing and checking my way there, or I could try to write an equation to solve for this. What piece of information haven't I used yet to fill out this table? That's the total number of hours worked. Now this total number of hours is different than this total hours, because really in this chart this is the total hours worked on a 6-hour shift. You have to take the column and the row together. But if I add these two together, total hours in a 6-hour shift plus the total hours in an 8-hour shift, I'll get all of the hours that she worked within that time frame. So that's what my equation is going to be. 12x plus 8x must equal 280. Now I can go through and solve for x. Divide by 20 should give me 14. That means x is 14. X represents the number of 8-hour shifts, and that's what the original problem wants us to find. So we can say that Maria worked 14 8-hour shifts. Now, if the question asked us how many 6-hour shifts did she work, well, I can just go up here and say, oh, well, x is 14, 2 times x, she must work 28 6-hour